pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome everyone to the January 2024 Parks Board meeting. New year and new start. I will start by reading the appeals of decision pursuant to the provisions of 2.68.030 of the Metropolitan Code of Laws. Please take notice that decisions of the Metropolitan Board of Laws and Recreation may be appealed to the Chancery Court of Davidson County for review under a common law writ of certiorari. Any appeal must be filed within 60 days after entry of a final decision by the board. Any person or other entity considering an appeal should consult with an attorney to ensure that time and procedural requirements are met. All right, we will move to the consideration of minutes. Entertain a motion, or unless there are any changes.
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The minutes carry. Any Metro Council referrals today?
Yes, Councilmember Olivia Hill is here with us today.
Welcome. All right, public comment period. As a reminder, we have the public comment period. It's a maximum of 2 minutes per person, and it has to relate to the agenda today, or an item on the agenda for today. Dee Dee Bird.
My item is new business request. Is that okay? Okay. Hey there. Good new year, right? Previously, we requested an update on Brookmead Park to be added to the agenda, and it has not been added, so we're requesting once again that an update on Brookmead be added to the agenda. Some of the specific things that we are requesting now is from Director Odom about budget planning and what is in the budget for Brookmead. For Phil Luckett for maintenance, we've seen that there's been some action over at Brookmead Park with underbrush clearage, and we just like to know what the plan is for the next few months, or just for 1 month. We'll take anything. The next thing we know the survey was complete. It was posted on the Park Board site, and we'd like for Ms. Jones to tell us what the survey, how you guys perceive what the survey says to you. Are you going to implement any of those items, or was it just lip service? Because the community has changed. When we first initiated our park plan over a decade ago, there was supposed to be a soccer field, there was supposed to be a bridge built over to Bell's Bend. So many things have been promised to Brookmead that have never come to fruition. So that's one of the reasons that we are so insistent upon knowing what. You can call it a master plan, you can call it whatever you want to call it. It changes every time we ask for it. We just want a plan. We want to know we don't want it to go back to the park that it was, because there was nothing there but a walkway. We have to have something that serves our community, and our community has changed significantly with over 4,000 residents and units that have been brought on board in that area. Also, we would like for, I guess it's Mr. Stovall that would let us know what Grisham Smith finally came up with, what their remediation thoughts are for Brookmead. We haven't heard the update for that either. So those are the things that we are requesting, and I would be happy to talk to anyone about that. Thank you.
Thank you. Excuse me. Moving on to old business, 12-2306, Armstrong Tennis Association request approval to officially name one tennis court at the Centennial Sportsplex after Deborah Armour, a longtime tennis player and captain at the Sportsplex Council District 21. Report, please.
Okay, the naming committee met earlier today and voted unanimously to approve this item.
I make a motion for approval.
I move that we.
I mean, I can't make a motion, I'll accept the motion for,
I move that we accept the, naming committee's, report. And approve.
any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. We'll move to the consent agenda. I'll consider the entire consent agenda with one motion.
Second?
Any discussion or changes to the consent agenda? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The consent agenda is approved. All right, moving to old business. Hang on one second here. Bear with me. Okay. All right, I'm sorry, new business. All right, moving to new business, 012405, staff request approval of 5 conservation greenway easement dedications for the Whites Creek and Ewing Creek greenways located across properties at 4808 Buena Vista Pike. I'm sorry? Right here?
Right here, front of that.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's on my, cold medications I'm on, I think. All right, 012402, I apologize for that. Notes for notes, request permission to renew 2024 permit for use of park facility for the music studio for parks after school youth at the Cleveland Community Center. The permit is for a period of 1 year contingent upon all permit obligations being met. Copies of the permit will be available for review at the board meeting.
Staff recommends approval.
I'll accept the motion for approval. Is there a second? Any discussion?
I just wanted to make the comment that it was, this was visiting Notes for Notes on our tour was one of the highlights, and understanding more about what they actually do and experiencing their studio. It's a fantastic program.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? The motion carries. 012403, Metro Action Commission requests permission to renew the 2024 permit for facility use for the Dudley Community Center being used at the Head Start Center for a period of 1 year contingent upon all the 2023 permit obligations being met.
Staff recommends approval, and I'd just like to note that this typically is on the list of the annual permits that you all receive in December, and this was an oversight and left off. So.
Motion for approval? Second? All those in favor? Opposed? The motion carries. 012404, Ms. Jenny Hannon, President of the Friends of Warner Park, requests permission to hold the following fundraising events listed below in Warner Park. Also requests permission to waive the usage fees and permission to remain in the park after 11 p.m. for the evening events. Park police will be present at each event. The shelter dinner for Saturday, April 20th, and the picnic shelters at Edwin and Percy Warner Park. Each shelter will have a host and guests will enjoy dinner. In the reserved shelters, alcohol will be served. Event running time approximately 4 to 9 p.m. The spring luncheon is May 2nd, Warner Park Nature Center. It'll run between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. Alcohol will be served and amplified sound be used. Full moon picking parties, May 31, June 21, July 19th, August 16th, September 13th at Warner Park Equestrian Center. Event runs approximately from 6 to 8. Alcohol will be served and amplified sound will be used. The Hummingbird Happy Hour, Thursday, September 5th at Warner Park Nature Center. Event run time approximately 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. Alcohol served, amplified sound will be used. Sunday in the park, one of the following TB dates, to be determined dates, October 20 or 27, November 3rd or November 10th in Ridgefield. Event run time approximately 11 to 3. Alcohol served, amplified sound will be used. Event date will be determined in April. Harpeth Hills Flying Monkey Marathon, Sunday, November 24th, the Vaughns Creek Cross Country Course in Percy Warner Park. Event run time approximately 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Alcohol served and amplified sound being used.
Staff recommends approval.
Any discussion?
I make a motion to approve.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. All right, now we're moving to new business. Continuing new business. Let's see. 012405, staff requests approval of 5 conservation greenway easement dedications for the Whites Creek and Ewing Creek greenways located across properties at 4808 Buena Vista Pike and 4804 Buena Vista Pike and 4800 Buena Vista Pike for the purpose of future expansion of these 2 greenway systems. Dedication of these easements was a condition of Metro Council approval of preliminary 2023 SP 026001, Council District 1.
It's going to be deferred to the acquisition committee.
All right. 012406, staff requests acceptance of an in-kind grant valued at no more than $1.5 million from the Friends of Mill Ridge Park for the design and construction of the barn at Mill Ridge Park. There is no required match by Metro Parks, and no money will be sent to Metro Parks. The construction of the barn will be contingent on the approval by Metro Parks of 1, construction design and documents, and number 2, an operating agreement for the barn involving Friends of Mill Ridge Park. The in-kind grant is contingent on finalizing and approving a new operating agreement and finalizing and approving the design of the barn. This is in Council District 32.
Staff recommends approval.
I have a question. The barn, is it different than a pavilion? Is it actually like an indoor-outdoor kind of barn? I wasn't familiar.
It'll
with
be
that.
a barn and it'll be suitable for events.
And they've raised this $1.5 million?
Yes,
Wow, that's fantastic.
yeah, that is,
Great.
yeah.
Any other questions or discussion?
Yeah, I guess, just understanding what would be, in the operating agreement, what is the change?
We would develop an operating agreement. We don't have that developed just yet. This is just for approval for them to begin, but certainly we'd have an operating agreement so that both organizations, both Metro Parks and the Friends Group, would understand the terms. And I'll just take this opportunity, if you don't mind, to remind you that we do have a new staff person that has joined us, and this will be one of the areas that he will focus on, is developing operating agreements, MOUs, et cetera, with our friends and support organizations, so that we are all very clear on roles, responsibilities, and terms.
Great, thank you.
I don't think I have a second.
A motion.
We got a motion?
Second.
Second. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? The motion carries. All right. All right, moving on to special presentations. The first is a new item that we added our agenda, and that is an internal staff department discussing their operations and needs. And the first one this month is consolidated maintenance to present annual update to the board.
Off. I guess that means I have to wait. No. All right. So I'll try to get through this in 7 minutes. Don't know if I'll make it, but I'll try not to bore you to death in the process. Does it include in the 7 minutes? All right. Well, thank you very much for allowing me to come for you and talk about consolidated maintenance. Consolidated maintenance, we're usually behind the scenes, so we're in a lot of areas. We have 4 main divisions inside our division. Some of the big stuff you know about: 16,000 acres of open space, 178 parks, 100 miles plus of greenways and ever growing. All that is on our shoulders to maintain and to keep up to staff. We have 108 full-time staff employees. You may not know that, 450 allocated assets. When I say allocated assets, that means what's given to us by Office of Fleet Management to use in parks, and that's all the divisions in parks. That's not just us, all the divisions, we manage all those assets. There's 200 non-allocated assets, and all those will be under $10,000. So anything over 10,000 is allocated. We also do responsible for HVAC, custodial, mechanical, electrical, plumbing, painting, carpentry, masonry, maintenance for all 52 buildings in parks. Plus, we also do a lot with the Ascend Amphitheater. Sports fields, football, all the way to pickleball. We even have cricket pitch we take care of. Recreational facilities, playgrounds, pools, splash pads, ice rink the Predators practice on, a free skate ice rink, and 8 dog parks. We also manage all that and maintenance all that. We also get involved in a lot of special events, some of the big ones you may know about. 4th of July, we're involved in the cleanup after that. Celebrate Nashville, Musicians Corner, the NFL Draft. We were in all of those, and as far as cleaning up and managing those events. Mark Watkins is our superintendent of grounds. He's been with Metro for 30 years. He oversees paving, playground repairs, placement priorities of playgrounds. He, in season, will mow 5,000 acres every 2 weeks. Downtown parks are mowed every week. We remove an average of 80 tons of trash each month out of the park system. In winter, as we're getting into, the staff will build tables, we'll do some brush clearing. We'll also do cleaning encampment sites if we have any. He has 7 shops under him. 2 are here at Centennial. Cedar Hill houses 1, Warner houses 1, Cane Ridge and Shelby both house 1. Some of the stuff that he gets involved in, this is Warner Park, Gaucho Road. You can see beforehand how bad a shape it was in. And this is after, with traffic calming in place to keep the speed limit at 15 miles an hour. $1 million was spent in Warner this year for paving projects. This is Antioch Community Center. This is the brand new playground going in for Antioch, and they never had swings, and we're solving that issue. Gazebo, we can do big projects, we do small projects. This is over at Shelby Mini Park. The little gazebo there on your right, on the left, it was pressure wash, painted, $3,200, and it looks a lot different. Basketball court upgrades. These 4 basketball courts have been done already, I believe. These courts for this amount of money would have been crack filled and coated. We're trying to keep that to extend the life of these courts before we have to totally redo them. William Manuel is over our structures, which means that's carpentry, masonry, painting, custodial. He does all of our locksmith. If you come to get a key in parks, you go see him. He also does, which a job that is thankless, is all the FEMA projects and everything. He does that, and that is a major pain, but he does it willingly, and he's a great guy to have. This is one of his big projects right now, Two Rivers Mansion. It's about $3 million being spent, replaced in the roof, copper gutters, and there's a ton of rotten wood on the mansion, so that's all getting replaced, and they're just now, as you can see, scaffolding is starting to go up. And after about 3 weeks, the scaffolding will be up, and then the renovations will start taking place. We also, under his care, the Founders Towers had a lot of stone replaced and also were pressure washed and cleaned. So that's something that was done recently. Hopefully we got a possibility of maybe doing a lighting project down there, which is pretty exciting. Jackie McKinley has been here 16 years. He does all our HVAC, electrical, plumbing, replacement, overseeing all. He's also doing LED lighting, which is a sustainability thing, inside and out. So we're retrofitting community center gyms. We're looking at outdoor lighting, which some of this is 70s and 80s. Cleveland, the Cleveland walking track. Here's, they replaced all these lights on the Cleveland walking track. They also did one of the courts that Shelby hasn't had lights for many years, and they got those up and fixed. This is at Hadley. These pictures are of 2 fields there that were softball fields, 70-foot poles redone. We did one at Seven Oaks, baseball field, 90-foot poles redone. And 2, we just had to put new lights on. As you can see, all these projects are very expensive. This is over at Hartman Community Center, the HVAC on the bottom right was redone. And this is a new commercial water heater system that was put in at the Sportsplex Fitness Center. And that's all under Jackie. Of course, this guy needs no introduction. Is Randall Lance. He's been here for 27 years. He is our master at landscaping, installation, and maintenance and trees. He managed the Emerald Ash Borer project of tree removals, and his staff helps with that. I get in there a little bit and help with that a little bit. He also gets the National Christmas tree installed every year, and he also is involved in a lot of most of the mayor inaugurations since he's been here, and getting that set up and everything. Here's the Christmas tree that was put in. NES helps us with that. They go and help pluck it and put it in place, and then Randall staff decorates it. And try to save as many decorations as we can year to year to cut down the cost, but it's always a pretty fantastic site. This is the Emerald Ash Tree Borer Program. Phase 2 this year, Parks is gonna spend about $3.3 million. Last year, our tree crew alone took out 140 trees. A lot of the money gets spent with outside help for trees bigger than the 14-inch diameter and bigger. We can't handle it. Those are trees that kind of get out of our scope. But also, they also planted, even though we're taking all these trees out, we planted 400 trees last year inside the department. So I think that's worth noting. Randall grows a lot of annuals in the greenhouse over behind Two Rivers Mansion. This keeps down our cost, and we're able to do a lot more with the money we're given. That number is Randall's operating budget every year, including people and other part of his budget. This also is part of his work on the left, which is pretty spectacular. This guy does some things around the department. He's mostly responsible for all that other stuff, and then he's also fiscally responsible for the $23 million that's why he doesn't even here anymore. This is a pilot sustainability project that I started about 18 months ago. We're not mowing greens with robotic mowers, but we are mowing 8 acres of athletic fields at Dell soccer field. Over a 5-year process, just that 8 acres, we figure we can save almost $7,000 in diesel or gas in mowing those, which I think is a benefit to the environment and it's true sustainability, because these mowers are charged with solar charging stations, so it is 100% green energy we're mowing with. It's taken us this long to get this where we want it. I'm gonna ask for money to expand this to 40 acres next year, and we'll see how that goes. So this is y'all probably seen these mowers up, but we'll skip that. All right, Centennial Lake Watauga. I thought it would be neat. Kind of went on my own. We put the fountain in, and it's a lighted fountain, and we try to sync that up with whatever color the Parthenon is doing that month or week. So we kind of sync all that up. So it's pretty neat. I kind of like the fun stuff. First dedicated pickleball courts in Nashville. We took the stadium court, turned it into to pickleball courts. There's some temporary netting there. That's a metal netting that can be rolled out of the way if we need the space. This is a McFerrin. McFerrin was our first court that we had to totally get redone. Down here in the bottom right-hand corner is a picture of Severe. When it gets like this, these kind of big cracks, the asphalt has to be taken all the way down and relayed, and all the poles have to be redone. And this one didn't have to have fencing done, but Seven Oaks, Charlotte, and Cleveland, all the fencing has to be done on those, and that's the number that we're gonna spend to redo all 4 of those. Seven Oaks, Charlotte, and Cleveland are supposed to get done this year. That's our plan. Shelby Park, when you just have to crack, fill, and coat, which is, they say coating, which means painting in their world, because they basically put it on with the squeegee, it's so thick. That's why they say coating. This one was $63,000 to do both the courts at Shelby, and this will hopefully extend the life of these courts so we don't have to spend that big money when we're doing the other projects. Brookmead, this is what it used to look like. This is a picture, a snapshot of what it looks like now. We've been in there for 2 months, clearing brush, clearing dead trees, and also clearing invasive species. We're still in there, and hopefully shortly in the next month, we hope to see the purchasing put out the bid package to get the construction started. for a construction company. I'm extremely excited about this. This is a preview of what our paving assessment is gonna look like for us. This will be give us tabs that we can click on and drill down and look at what's been assessed as failed, poor, fair, good, or excellent. We've added 2 more tabs to this, well, 3 more, actually. We added walking, and we also, paths that are in parks, we've added 2 different tabs that are gonna be coming for vehicular bridges, for greenway bridges. So we'll be able to get their assessment on the same chart of what we need to ask for and what we need to go after to repair. This is Warner Parks. The 2 blue sections there are what we just got finished. That's Groucho Road, and that's the entrance off of Vaughn Road going into Edwin Warner. There's one, and the red sections you see are sections that need attention. But the nice thing about this is we can go to any part of the county, we'll be able to look at whatever sections are failed, and we can go concentrate on those sections with whatever funds that we're given. That's the team. Again, I thank you for the opportunity to come and talk a little bit about maintenance, and I appreciate your interest.
That was
you go.
a very good report. It's amazing, the longevity of the team. It's very impressive.
Well, I'm very fortunate to have the team.
Really impressive. Any comments or?
Thank you so much for hosting us back in November.
Yeah.
Oh, you're welcome.
It's great.
Really good to see the amount of work that you're able to do with the number of employees that you have. At that time, you talked about the need for 28 employees in consolidated maintenance. Since that time, we went through the holidays, but.
We are
where
actually
you-
down to about, altogether, probably 9 or 10. We've been extremely successful in our last 2 outings in picking up a number of employees. They haven't all started yet. Just had one got dropped out today, so it's never up. We're still working. We got the list, are gonna go back out. We're still working that situation, hoping to have that by the time we get to summer in our season. We hope to have that all as filled up as possible.
And on deferred maintenance, Director Odom, Phil talked about a lot of numbers up there. Things that, still need to be done. And so you'll talk a little bit about the deferred maintenance budget, what's on the budget, I guess, and then, what we'll be able to fill this year.
So I will, this is timely, I just was talking to Mr. Johnson a few moments ago about the upcoming FY '24 CSP. And I am excited to note that in the proposed appropriation for Metro Parks are mostly what we submitted on a list of, and for me, it's always deferred maintenance at the top. You all have heard me say this a number of times. It is most responsible that we take care of the park system that we have today, and so that is always at the top of my priority list. And again, on the preview of what I have seen, it's about $37 million, and most of it is deferred maintenance. And then, too, some of it is continuation of parks development, particularly in underserved areas. So I'm excited about that possibility. We rely heavily on deferred maintenance appropriations, again, to take care of the park system, the vast park system, the growing, aging park system that we have for, parks visitors to enjoy. And so I'm excited about what could be in the CSP for us. I will just mention, not to steal your shine at all, Phil, but I wanted to mention, I really appreciate Phil's leadership of the consolidated, he's blushing, the Consolidated Maintenance Division. He has a great team to work with, as you saw, and as he expressed, there is quite a bit of longevity in our maintenance division, and they are subject matter experts. We meet as a team every other Monday and talk, and I rely heavily on their expertise as we move forward in working to take care of the park system that we have. And I did want to add, he had up there on his slide some of the larger city events that our department helps support. But just so you know, there are all kinds of impromptu requests, asks, and that every single day that they shift and pivot to try to get done. And so I appreciate, again, Phil and his team for being so flexible as we always do. We are juggling priorities on a daily basis, and Phil and his team make what is a challenge for all of us, make it a little bit easier to get done. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Chair, I would,
Yes.
I would also like to just, and I'll be brief, but to make the comment, and Phil, thanks for the presentation. I think something that was highlighted, and hopefully it isn't missed, so I'll state it, the amount of focus on investing energy, resources, and time into things that are, I would say, extending the funding that Parks has. Again, we continue to talk about the need for funding for deferred maintenance and, of course, just always needing more for operations. But when we had our tour, I think the thing that I found that was, I guess, heartwarming, yes, but also very, very much something I was proud of is the approach that was taken to being mindful of how we can spend the dollars we do have to, I mean, these are our public's amenities, right? And so spending the dollars we do have to not only improve them, make them safer, which of course is an extreme priority for us, but to think about the longevity in the assets and doing things that not only prolong the life of some of these assets, but also create some opportunities. I love what we're talking about here with expanding the program for the robotic mowing, because those are dollars that I'm very confident after having the interactions I had, that they will be shifted and then redirected in a way that will continue to save funds, especially with the large LED projects. So I would just, like to emphasize that, I don't think there's a issue with worrying about waste when you get more funds. I think a lot of times you're very prudent about allocation of funding because you think that it might create a little bit less of an undertone that you'll be focused on managing funds. But I think this department has shown and continues to show that it is very attuned to finding ways to manage those funds. So I just wanted to highlight that.
Thank you. All right, moving on for our next special presentation, Nashville Parks Foundation, Louise Brown.
Good afternoon. Happy New Year. I'm pleased to provide an update on the Nashville Parks Foundation and focus on ways that we can plan together in 2024. Today we have some members of our board here, Board Chair Kabir Sandhu, Vice Chair Jillian Frist, Board Member Patricia Knight, and our new employee, I'll talk about Matthew Lyles. Parks remain essential, as we know, and as Nashville continues to grow, our mission remains critical. Enhancing public parks, expanding recreational opportunities, at the same time while being sustainable about the growth of the park system. We use 3 categories to highlight the impact of parks. 1, parks promote wellness of all kinds. Parks build community through strong neighborhoods, and parks build prosperity, both through economic ways and through ecological ways. We're the nonprofit partner to you. We support 178 parks in the system and 27 community centers. I know you seem like you sit through a lot of presentations through park support groups, so there are 15 friends groups, and we focus on the 163 parks that do not have a support system. We are dedicated to equitable park funding. That is what we do. That is all that we do. We work with you to make this happen. We initially survived and were founded on 50 cents per ticket for certain events from Ascent Amphitheater. Since 2016, we've received a high of about $110,000 and a very low of $0 during COVID. But since 2021, we've expanded our revenue resources by establishing much greater connection to donors and by creating a low-cost fundraiser. And I'm so pleased that some of you have had the chance to attend that. Our approach is building relationships with Metro and with the community. This is particularly important at Metro. And really, thank you, Director Odom, and every single assistant director and others on the staff who have welcomed our calls, accepted our requests for meetings, created the positive energy to work together. We can only be effective if we remain close and continue to communicate easily. I'm thankful because I know your time is precious. From this work, we believe we have a very clear understanding of underserved areas, and with this knowledge, we communicate this to the private sector. We build confidence in their role as philanthropists, and we tap into the local prosperity. It's worked. We have successfully leveraged our charitable support from Live Nation and raised additional funds to support the organization, and most importantly, to invest in parks. We're a very lean organization. We're expanding to a staff of a total of 2 this year. Please welcome Matt Lyles, our new Director of Marketing and Communications. We can be lean because our business model is based on connections to donors and foundations who have a keen desire to make Nashville a great city. We don't have a membership model or a subscription model or peer-to-peer fundraising model in which we're seeking recurring donations from the general public and therefore need a larger staff. In this way, we coexist very peacefully with the large and successful park support groups and do not compete with them. We do need connections all over town and relationships, and we have them. Green space and parks have multiple stakeholders, and we work collaboratively with many groups to raise awareness and fund park amenities and broaden programming. We're working right now with the Civic Design Center and their Youth Council, neighborhood group Friends of McKay Park, Oasis Bike Center, Highland Rim Forest, Greenways. We're presenting at the Neighbor to Neighbor Conference. We're always at Earth Day, and in 2024, we will work on a project with the Community Foundation. You heard it here. It's going to happen. Our donor base is supportive. Our success is building a bridge between Metro and civic leaders. These are some actual quotes from the past year. We really want the foundation to succeed. What is the greatest need right now? I am pleased with your relationship with Monique. We are pleased to be part of your success. And truly, a donor tells me, Louise, I can do more. We're excited about the achievements in both parks. I'm not going to read this, but I'm going to let you know that on the consent agenda, the notes requested to renew a permit, we funded the music studio at Cleveland Park. That was something that we funded. We funded that because a donor came to us with some money and said, what do you need? And so I met with Stefan, and Stefan said, this is what we need. I said, great, let's do it. It's going to happen. And it happened. We're ready for more investment. 2024 is here. And our main park project is expanding the Watkins Pump Track. We're working on a final design. We're working with the new Community Center Program Manager and Oasis Bike Works. We're working with the neighborhood group at McKay Park, who is actively fundraising with very strong success. Cedar Hill holds great promise with the Miracle Field and pickleball. We are also researching best terms for a new agreement. This agreement has lasted 10 years. The new agreement is going to last the next 10 years. It will be vital for the next generation of parks and park users. We need direction from this board. This is it. Mayor O'Connell is dedicated to public-private partnerships, and so are we. We believe we successfully motivated the private side, but we need you to generate the public side. I don't feel that I really know what capital projects you want us to work on. I ask you to help me with this year. But before we do, we'd like to show you a short promotional video that has some local stars in it.
Nashville is about to launch in its second act of fast growth, and there's a great need for philanthropic and dedicated parks funding to keep pace with our growth.
In order to continue to make this a great city and to attract top talent to this city, we have to continue to invest in our parks to make them great.
Some of our smaller parks need more resources too, that might not have a friends group or might need the kind of improvements that haven't happened in decades. And that's where the Nashville Parks Foundation comes in.
Giving to the Nashville Parks Foundation is one way individuals and corporations can make a lasting impact in the city of Nashville.
We had a vision for a reasonably priced, casual, outdoor fundraiser that included all the best parts of an event. And then we worked hard to plan it as a zero waste event as well.
Investing in our parks is investing in our public infrastructure needed to keep our city vibrant.
The Nashville Parks Foundation makes that giving very easy.
I'm happy to answer any questions.
You really did have some stars in that video. I think it's great what y'all are doing. I think, I remember when the foundation started, I know we've talked about that before in this room, but I congratulate you because y'all really turned a good corner. I think it's just going to get a whole lot better, and I think we're all here to support you. And it's really took a while to get the funds built up as well. And I think now you've got that great foundation and great leadership, and I think it's just wonderful. It's a great report.
Thank you.
Any questions or? Thank you, Lise.
Thank you.
All right, Joe, we're going to move to capital projects update.
Good afternoon. Happy New Year. Everybody has their updated sheets. I'll just go over some highlights for you. As Louis said, the Cedar Hill Park, we were awarded that contract for the professional renderings and should have those by the end of February for review. The Hartman restrooms and the Ravenwood Phase 1 restroom has been ordered, and the site work for Hartman restrooms will go out is out to bid, and we'll be back January the 15th. The Old Hickory Community Center bids are back and under review as we speak. And then Sunnyside, we were able to secure some additional funding for the things that we spoke about when you were out there, and we were able to complete those while the contractor is on site. So, yep. Any questions?
Thank you. All right, moving on to greenways. Cindy?
Hello. We're off to a great start in 2024. We are continuing to work on capital projects. The Charlotte Corridor Railroad Trail, we're acquiring easements and looking at some property acquisition. The 440 Greenway from Sevier to Browns Creek, as I mentioned at our last meeting, we are working through the TDOT excess land license agreement. We got notice yesterday that that's going to be approved, so we'll take that on to you all and then to council. The 440 Greenway from Park Plaza down to Centennial Park, we've chosen light fixtures, which, believe it or not, was really difficult. It's makes such an impression on the greenways, and it's something we haven't typically done, lighting. So we're looking at doing lighting on our urban core greenways, retrofitting the existing 440 Greenway and adding lighting to both of these projects, as well as in the Gulch. The Whites Creek Greenway at Hartman Park, we're actually having our kickoff meeting today on the design for that, which would connect the existing Whites Creek Greenway from Mullins Park to Hartman. It will extend that on over to Buena Vista, utilizing some of the FEMA buyout property in a partnership with Metro Water Services. Privately funded Greenway projects, I won't go through all those, but I will highlight just a couple. Greenways for Nashville, as you know, did an initial upgrade of 10 of our trailheads, and they're working on 30 additional trailhead upgrades. Those look great. The Richland Creek Greenway proposed at Belmead Plaza as part of that redevelopment project. We've had our kickoff design meeting with that development team, and we're continuing to work with them on that. And the Ariza Bellevue project on the Harpeth River Greenway, which will give us an extension from the end of Morton Mill Road over to the park property that we have there. We've also started our design meetings with that development team. We're continuing to look at how that rather difficult extension of the Greenway will happen there around the railroad. In your packet, you have a list of all of the Greenway easement and open space acquisition projects that are happening as of when I printed this. We've added some more just this week. If you don't know, twice a month, we review projects that are coming to the Metro Planning Commission that might be related to greenways, that may provide us an opportunity to acquire greenway easements, greenway development. So that's an ongoing thing with our staff. And right now, as of printing on this, there were 22 different sites. There are more easements involved there, but 22 different sites. And lastly, we've had some really great discussions, both maintenance and our golf course team and greenways on stream mitigation projects. So we're continuing to work on an agreement that would help both water services and parks at Shelby with that golf course. But in a larger picture there, if you don't know, the Greenways team always meets and reviews any stormwater variance requests that come to Metro Water Services through their Stormwater Management Commission. And we've recently participated in a discussion there I thought was really good about how to move forward mitigation projects in a way that benefits us, that benefits the public, but also doesn't restrict us in a way that we can't manage and develop our park projects the way that we would like to. And there's some easement agreements or land use agreements there that we're continuing to try to modify that in a way that serves all of us. So that's ongoing. And that is all I have today.
Your comment about the lights has just caused me to think about lights and the hours that greenways are listed at being used. Are we extending the hours, or what is it? Does it match park hours?
Right now, they match park hours.
So dusk to dawn, generally?
Generally, if you look at a greenway, like the 440 Greenway, which is very open, I mean, part of it is, very close to a road. And generally, we don't gate them off or fence them off. And they are utilized more and more for getting people around town, as well as all the other recreation and health benefits. So the urban core greenways we're looking at, and we'll come to you all about if that should be modified or not. We certainly don't want people who have used a greenway to get to work in the morning in the wintertime to find themselves in the dark at 5 o'clock when they're trying to get home.
Great, thanks. That's what I was hoping for.
Thank you, Cindy.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to upcoming special events. Jackie?
Happy New Year, everybody. So even though your listing is very, very short, there is still a lot going on in the park system. We always have something going on. Usually what I list are permitted events, and so those are the permitted events we have as of the time that I wrote that. But again, there's always something going on. So for instance, there is a winter star party from 6 to 8 p.m. sponsored by the Warner Park Nature Center. And this is a really unique opportunity to closely look at the moon, Saturn, Jupiter, and a lot of other stars. If you've never been, it is something worth attending. The event is free, but you do have to register. And speaking of nature centers, birds and bird banding are very prominent programming elements at those centers. The Shelby Bottoms Nature Center say they are running low on bird feed. So they are currently accepting donations of suet, Niger socks, and other bird seeds that are very much appreciated by the staff to help our feathery friends during the winter months. The Sportsplex this is the perfect time of year, new year, new you. The Sportsplex is offering everything from fitness classes to sports clinics. Right now, they have a junior tennis clinic going on. It's perfect for kids between the ages of 5 and 13. It's $12 per hour with the session schedules on Mondays and Wednesdays. And they also have a new fitness class. It's called Symmetry. The focus is on creating balance throughout the body with specialized strength movements designed to fortify those smaller muscle groups that often don't give enough love. And of course, our community centers, they always have something going on. They have a variety of classes and activities going on at any particular point in time. Right now, they have everything going on from adult badminton, homeschool activities, after-school programs, to English country dancing, in case you want to learn a few steps. And at the Parthenon, Duncan McDaniel's newest artwork is called Fountain. It's on display in the East Gallery at the Parthenon. What this summary says is his presentations of light, color, and sculptural design elements suggest the idea that each day we are slightly different versions of ourselves. And this exhibit is scheduled to end on March 31st.
Thank you so much. All right, we'll move to the report of the director.
Thank you, sir. My report will be fairly brief, but I did, before I begin, want to thank you all for supporting our staff of, as you have seen and you see every day and every month, of professionals. We have Parks and Recreation professionals, landscape architect professionals, maintenance professionals, revenue producing, golf professionals, and administrative professionals in our department that I'm happy to work with and lead every day, and just want to thank you all for your continued support of our team here and your advocacy. We've added one new member to that team. I hope to introduce him to you all today. He has a little bit of a bug that I asked him not to share. But Kevin Roden, as you all know, has joined our team, and I will do another formal introduction at our meeting next month. We are nearing, as those of you all who've been on the Parks Board for a while or in Metro for a while, we're nearing operating budget or budget season. Expected to kick off in the next couple of weeks for our fiscal year 25 budget request that we will make to the mayor's office and the council and coordinate with the finance department. And submitting those, we're pretty much on a tight turnaround, and so coordinating with our large team here, getting those reviewed and vetted and getting them back submitted into the system takes some time. So we will be moving through that, but as I normally do, I will share those investment requests with you all. Please know that they are informed by, again, the subject matter experts in the department, and then my ongoing communication with the mayor himself. As I mentioned last month, I'm gonna say these two again, just so my report is not too short, and so to keep you reminded. We will begin work this summer on a comprehensive fee review for fees and charges in the department. And our goal will be to get a recommendation to you all either by December or January of 2025 for those fee changes, in case you have any questions or anything like that, and then implement those in July of 2025. Additionally, we are continuing work of acquiring research on a new point of sale system. Our goal is to inform a budget request, and that is so that we can obtain a point of sale system that will allow us to do online reservations and registration. That is just more efficient these days and really customer friendly for us to do that. So we are working toward that, and appreciation to John Holmes and his team in revenue producing and Nethraja. Next month, we'll get an update from our Wellness, Community Recreation, and Cultural Arts Division. That's Stevon, better known as Community Centers and Cultural Arts. So they will, he'll provide the presentation for next month. We're very much looking forward to that. And that is all I have for today. Do you have any questions?
Can we get maybe next month, or unless you know now, an update on Audison Theater? It was mentioned earlier, and I know that we're 11 months away now.
So I can go ahead and mention that, if you're okay with that. So just for Live Nation as their part, you know, they did a presentation last month. But as you mentioned, the management agreement between Metro Parks and Live Nation does expire at the end of 2025. We will begin working with the procurement department to initiate a new RFP for those, for management.
Is it end of 25?
It's the end of 25. Okay. It's December. Yeah. So we'll begin that shortly.
All right. Any announcements or any future requests for future agenda items? If not, I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
This has been a service of the Metro Nashville Network. If you would like to see this presentation again, or for more information on this and other programs, visit nashville.gov.